Hi, Cancer. Happy Devil's Night. So, this one's going to be a little different. I'm going to get my shoes off so I can be comfortable. You know, I'm not type to walk around in heels anymore. But, a long time ago, I was. And just real quick, I'll put a timestamp and we'll get right into the whole reconciliation thing. And, if you're in separation, no contact, and what that's all looking like right now. I'll give you an energy update, which will be valid from the time you find this video. It doesn't have to be October 30th when I'm filming. Well, I want to do, I'm going to do that since we're already talking about it. I'm going to do a spread for someone who passed away. I know as we get towards Halloween, the veil's the thinnest, between us and the people who've passed away is what they say. And I don't usually do this. I did this one time before when my father passed away a couple of years ago. And, because I know you're kind of not supposed to go there. But I had a friend pass away recently, and less than 2 weeks ago. And he was only 57. He was a Cancer. And I just want to see what we come up with. I was getting ready for this video, the Cancer video, and I was in the other room, and I thought, he is the only person I've ever done the Ouija board with where it actually moved. And it didn't tell the truth, so definitely stay away because it's useless if it's not telling you the truth. And I've stayed away from them ever since. I was 21. I was 21 when I met him. I'm 52 now. And he was just a really good person. Everybody says that when someone passes away, but he was. And I won't go too much into detail on that. 57 years old, and just always looking out for me all these years, and he had a girlfriend, a fiance, who he really took care of because she was really ill for a long time. And she's still around. So, anyways, let's just see what we can for my Cancer friend and for your friends and family of any sign who have passed away, what we can come up with. And we'll go from there. Thanks for being here with me. Okay. So, I guess that's the usual. Thanks for being here with me. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Let's see what we've got just for our friends and our family. I'm just sick of everyone dying, but I think you get to an age where that starts to happen. Okay. I'll shuffle these one more time, and we'll just see what we come up with, basically, for my friend, for the collective, for everyone who's watching and who will, in time, be drawn to this video. Okay, so we have the Ten of Pentacles reversed. That's heavy energy. It's showing all the generations there. You have a baby, you have an old man, and you have a couple in middle age, young couple. They have the baby. And this is very heavy energy having to do with money. Sometimes when we have financial struggles, we're not able to take care of ourselves the way that, other people can. You've got to think about it. You've got to economize. Whatever it is, gas is expensive, food's expensive, good food, things like that. My father always said, no matter what, the one thing you don't want to be cheap with is food. So, you have the Three of Cups. So that's an interesting card for here, some sort of celebration. I know Three of Cups traditionally here on YouTube is third-party energy. Obviously, it would be irrelevant at this point. This is a celebration card. This is being with other people. This is a family card too as well. Okay, and this is being with other people and, and seeing them. I don't want to say so much reunion, but there is a little bit of that quality. I'm happy, I'm seeing you, there you are. And, I know that my friend had a lot of relatives that had passed. Um, he was going through, he's 5 years older than me, so he was going through that whole thing a few years back in 2017. This one passed, that like 3 family members, this sort of thing. So maybe, your person as well as mine is having a reunion with their family. Okay, so there's the heartbreak card, the Three of Swords. It could have been, because it is in the position of the reason that we're here doing this reading. Someone maybe had issues with their heart. That wasn't the case with my friend. It was an accident. Um, but this can refer to the heart, the breast, the lungs, something in this area of the body that, can make a person ill. And it's usually here. It's also a heartbreak card, of course. I just think obviously when a good person passes, a lot of people are left heartbroken. Okay, a lot of threes. 3 is the number of completion. We do have the Three of Wands. This is someone who's satisfied with what they've completed. I want to say here on Earth, they know they did a good job. They're turning their back now, and they're like, "Oh, that's okay. I did good." And you have the 3 threes, a sense of completion. So they possibly completed their mission here. You do also have the 8 of Cups reversed, which is interesting. This is the, it's the returning card. And so I always look at that like a reincarnation sort of thing. If you guys believe in past lives, I'm assuming most of you do. I think it's possible. They always talk about how we're energy, and energy just changes forms. It can never be destroyed. So where do we go? And we all have different ideas on that. So, this is this is maybe a returning for our people to where their energy and their essence originally came from, their spirit. It's a very spiritual card, the 8 of Cups, and it's reversed, so we're going back. Okay, so things tossed aside as soon as they're gained. Maybe here on Earth you felt you completed something, you felt you had your success, and you can go now. You do have the 5 of Wands. This is the card of combativeness, fighting, people not understanding each other, all coming from different perspectives. I can't imagine that there's any arguments anymore once you pass away. I can only imagine this may be some arguments after people passing away. Sometimes, people fight over the will and things that are left. I'm not really sure what to make of this 5 of Wands. We do have the Star reversed. The Star reversed is a very depressing card, and I know just the energy, I'm sure it's me. I'm not happy, obviously, at the moment. The Star reversed, it's very depressing, it's very discouraging, it's a bummer, and I've had that on my mind a lot. This one hit me harder than and we do have the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords is going forward and going forward confidently, and I really feel like that's the theme here. Like, I've done my work, I've done a good job, I don't have to worry about it anymore. I can turn my back to it. I'm going back where I came from with the 8 of Cups, and I'm going forward, in a confident way. And the Knight of Swords, he's got, I think I don't know what it's called. Like, they have their suit of armor. So he doesn't even put the helmet down. He's like, I'm just going forward. I'm very confident. I'm going to go do what needs to be done, and I've done. what needs to be done. You know, I've completed my mission. We have the hangman. The hanged man is seeking enlightenment, excuse me. You know, he's on a vision quest. He's there and he's hanging upside down, and he, you know, it's seeing things from a different perspective. You know, and in a way, maybe that's what death is like. You know, because nobody knows. People always say, you know, I shouldn't say nobody knows, because I know people have had dreams and experiences and whatnot, and I think some of that communication in dreams is real. But you know, all these videos on here about, oh, I had the near death experience, and they go on and whatever. I think I don't believe most of them, and I think it's something else. I think it could be just the way your brain works, as it's shutting off and the energy is going elsewhere. I'm sorry, but I don't believe all those things. Um, you know, and I think the jury's out on the whole past life thing, just because of experiences I've had myself that would be kind of silly to try to explain away. I'm a natural skeptic, which is weird that I do all this, and I know that the energy, this is all real stuff, you know, but I'll get into that in a second at the end of the spread here. So the hangman, you know, he's on his vision quest. He's seeing something from a different perspective. So once you pass, maybe you watch us, or it's a different vibration, you know, like they know that we're sad. They know what we don't know, but they have a different perspective on it all, and maybe it's okay, you know. We do have the Five of Pentacles, the being left out in the cold. Well, you know, we don't know, and eventually we'll know, but, you know, we're all going to know one day, but we don't know right now. And so, you know, and I know religions and faith and all that, I understand, you know, some people do believe they know, and that's okay. You know, we're all different. I'm not judging anyone. You know, this is the card, the Five of Pentacles, we all know as the dark night of the soul. And so some of us will go through that when people pass away. Also, this is affinity, you know, discovered with another person through going through a dark time. That's why there's two people there. So there's something positive that comes out of it. There's always, even in the worst situation, they say there's always something positive. Okay, so that's what that is. And you have the Fool. What a weird ending card. But I like it. It's very happy. It's very optimistic. You know, he's got his little dog here watching out for him, going, hey, wait a minute, you're jumping, you're about to go over that cliff, and you're not even looking where you're going. And, you know, I would just say people are now on their new adventure once they pass. At least that's the energy I got here. And that's what I have. You know, so, you know, let's not be sad about it, because I think in a way that's just assuming the worst, assuming the negative, and we don't need to do that. You know, we're taught with manifesting and things to always find the positive in the situation, and just that next positive thought. We control our thoughts, which controls our vibration. Again, you know, a little bit on a different subject here, and I know there was something I was going, oh yeah, I'll get to that. So let's be optimistic about it, like the Fool. Let's be confident about it, like the Knight of Swords. Like, yeah, the completion. It's all right, you know, because we don't know what's over there, and it could be amazing. All right. And so with the manifesting stuff, all I was going to say is my best friend of, I don't know, since I was 15, so 37 years. He passed 5 years ago also, and he's the one who gave me these cards and my crystal ball, which isn't in all the videos, and gave me that when I was 15, and he taught me how to read. And so he passed as well, like I said, 5 years ago. He was also, he was 7 years older than me, so a little bit older than me. And, you know, he was very intelligent, very educated. He had a degree in engineering. I'm not educated, by the way, but it hasn't stopped me. You know, I've done just fine. And so he had a degree in engineering, and he was actually going back to college, even though he was pretty ill, to study physics, to understand how manifestation works, and the energies and the vibrations and lining things up, because there is a science to it. It's science, it's a fact. Like I said, energy, it doesn't die. It just changes forms, and so people go on. We just don't know in what form, and we don't know where for sure, but we will one day. And I'll put the timestamp here, in case someone wanted to skip. Then, of course, if you skipped, you don't hear me saying this. Well, maybe I'll back up and put the timestamp earlier, and let's just get into your reading, Cancer. Okay. This is going to be, if you are in separation or in no contact with someone, and you're hoping to reconcile, how that energy is currently looking, and I will say as well, the more I study the science behind manifestation and how it actually works, I've always been one of those people who want to know how does something work? Not necessarily in manifesting, how am I going to get there? I want $2 million, and you can't see that practical path to it. Well, how? It's impossible. Not like that. Not like, because you're not supposed to worry about the how. It's there. Everything is there, and it's just yours for the taking, and bringing down and pushing out, for lack of a better word, into the physical. But having said that, because I'm studying it, and you don't need to be educated to study and understand and intuit and learn, and the cards work. And the more that I study, the more I see how all these things line up with the cards. And people knew, when they created these cards, like in the 1850s, I believe, people knew. They knew this. And that's why the design of some of the cards, probably all of the cards, are what they are. And, I never understood that. I mean, because it's really interesting. So let's just get to your reading, okay, Cancer? So Cancer's looking to reconcile and no contact, separation. How are you looking right now? Okay. So as we start out, we have the King of Cups. Okay, that's probably your card. A lot of love. Here's your Six of Wands. So there's a tension. This is a victory. So I do feel that you may have reached a point where you understand that the other person does love you. They certainly know that you love them. And there's a little victory here. So I'm thinking communication's opening up, or it already has, or it's about to be. Okay. We do have the Strength card. Wonderful. Leo energy. So this is self-control. I think when you break up with a person, or they need space, or whatever it is, you fight and you're not talking, and you can kind of understand just based on what they've said, leave me alone. They can respect that self-control you have not to go and show up at their job or blow their phone up. And I think initially, if you're upset and you broke up and you're blowing their phone up, I mean, that's kind of normal, even though it's not helpful, but just about everyone does that. A lot of people will freak out and do that, but you've got some self-control, and I think they're respecting that, Cancer. We do have the Six of Cups. Six of Cups, that's the attachment card. So, your person is still attached to you. There's a lot of love there, and that's in the now. That's not in the past, okay? When we have Six of Cups reversed, that's more in the past. So this is good. We have the Ace of Cups reversed. Now that makes a lot of sense to me. Again, you've got all these love cards. They're paying a little attention to you. They're about to reach out, or they already did. It's real tentative there with our Six of Wands, but it is a victory, even if it's a small one. But they're still holding back. They're not going all the way, going, oh, I missed you so much. Let's get back together. But there's something. This looks like a step in the right direction, because they do respect how you had the self-control to give them that space. Okay. We do have the Ace of Pentacles. So this one, they're fine to have a new beginning with you. They're coming and offering you something very valuable with that ace there, which is a chance. Let's try, is what I'm hearing. We have the World. The World is a completion card, and it's a card about, success. You've done the things you're supposed to do. You've gone through all the steps, everything in the cycle, and you're going on to the next phase. This may also be a card when you have people who, you have a long distance relationship, someone possibly who even lives in a foreign country with the World. Okay. We have the Four of Wands, the marriage card. Okay, so this is great. This is also known as the twin flame card for those of you who believe in twin flame things. This is celebration, marriage, great energy. So I think even if your person is holding back and has been holding back, they want that space and now they're coming forward just a little bit, but they're not coming all the way. Once we get there, and it is delayed energy with the World, which is a 3. 3s are delayed energy, but it's success, but then it's a little bit of a delay to it. Once we get past that little hesitation, kind of tiptoeing back in slowly, this is the celebration, like, hey, let's go and get married, let's do this. You got your 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands, because this is such a positive reading. The way I'm going to interpret it here with this spread is that the goal is in sight, okay? This guy, he's put in so much work. He's carrying these wands. They're so heavy. He's bent over. I don't know if I can take it one more step. It's like, just keep going. Yeah, don't drop it. You can drop it. You can put it down. You can take a rest, but then you're going to have to gather them all back up and keep going. This is what this is saying to me. Keep going. Goal is in sight. And you do have the 10 of Pentacles reversed. So the 10 of Pentacles reversed is heavy energy. I would say, this is interesting, going back to our other Pentacles card here, Ace of Pentacles. This is heavy energy, a burden. There may be, because this is family card as well, family interference in your connection with the person. That could be something that is, really hard for someone when they're caught in the middle. They choose someone, but the family doesn't like them. There's a conflict there for whatever reason. And it could even be a financial thing. Someone's not good with money is what I'm getting, because this is financial pressure. Maybe someone has to support one of their relatives and their romantic partner doesn't agree with it. So there's conflict. Someone is suspicious. Like, I live with a certain someone, and if I'm going to have my boyfriend move in, then, they might have to move out. What are they going to do? Rent's so expensive now. It's that sort of energy. But someone's coming in and like, I love you so much. I'm not even thinking about money. Whatever it takes, whatever it costs, we're going to put this back together. I'm going to suggest don't do that. Keep it, do things within your budget. Do things that are going to build a good foundation, because I think this is coming back together, Cancer. And, you don't want any accusations of later on, you're so bad with money or anything stupid like that. We want to build a good foundation, but this looks really, really good. I'm going to do the message from your person, like I like to do. And then I think we'll probably leave it there. I think it's been a long enough video. Thank you for being with me. And let's see what your person would like to say to you, or, even if they're talking to you now and they're holding back, like I said, with that Ace of Cups reversed, what do we have? We have, I'm so attracted to you. Okay, so not only are they love you still, and they're still attached to you, they're attracted to you, so they're holding back. Like, I'm not going to let that take over, but it's going to take over is what it looked like to me. Like, once we get going, it's like, straight to this serious commitment, if not all the way to marriage. I'm looking for my marriage card. Here it is. Okay, so I think we're looking really good, Cancer. And thank you for being here with me.